It's the time to get down.
Where everybody gets into the media and the hype and all that. Okay.
I mean, you could remove him from the job, but again, I would base that on his performance.
But here's the part that I'm still going to say. Now, here it is. Now, this is me now, okay? Somehow, military and politics are supposed to be distinctly separate, but military is political.
Well,
it's under the umbrella
of policy. It's
not
separate. They direct. They would tell you, we don't make the decisions.
That's right.
The military's job is very specific.
Right.
They don't want to decide who is right, who is wrong.
Right.
All they want to do is do the task that they're at hand.
I agree.
So that's why they're not politicians.
Right.
But they operate under political control.
And the part that gets me is that you take, if you look at the guy's background and go, look at this man, he should not be fired. But you know what? He's going to do an interview with Rolling Stone. Where does the flag wave? Now, I'm behind you on this one.
Now you know
where does the flag get waved?
But Vic, let me tell you something. I'll bet you $50 to 1 that he didn't want to do that interview. Someone he didn't go looking for that interview.
I don't have a
Someone calls you up and goes, "Hi, Bob. We're over at Command Central,
right?
And we're setting up an interview." Oh shit! Another interview.
Don't do it.
No, Vic. He's in the military.
I know that.
Vic. They don't military does not operate on a principle that you get asked to do stuff.
Right, I know that.
He gets a call that says, "Bob, you'll be interviewed this Friday."
Rolling Stone.
And now you can talk, because you know this other guy who you're talking to, and even though you're a military hierarchy,
right,
you might say, "Oh shit," but you follow orders.
Right.
So when they tell you you're doing a press conference, you're doing a press conference.
And don't talk about anybody bad.
I bet you they don't give him that kind of again.
Oh, that's bad then.
And again, because remember now, so this is where I think the public's expectations are unrealistic.
Right.
He's in charge of Afghanistan.
Right.
They're not going to take a whole lot of time out to prep him.
I agree.
For the interviews. It's not like the president who has a regular. So to me, they're setups. They actually are setups for disappointment because
I agree.
You're asking. That's like asking the ER doctor to comment on the case.
And
hospitals don't. You notice that they don't. Why? Because they would do a lousy job.
I agree, but I think he's also of that mindset that he's a general, and I think most generals walk in the way where who's going to be the one to tell him how to talk? And there are generals who go like this. Who's going to be the one that's going to go over there and be the one that says, I have to start acting a certain way? I am a general. I'm a military commander. Who's going to do that?
Depending on who they're talking to in the military, they get told how to talk all the time.
Right, I know.
So that part of that culture
is that they follow orders.
Is that they follow orders.
Right.
So he's used to being told what to do, and his commander in chief is the president.
Right.
So to me, it's more or less. Like I said, it's not like you've heard him in official capacity have problems. This is a thing of him being in a situation that's outside of his usual. And that's the problem with this. But I go again. And that's why I cite the hospitals. You notice they almost never let you talk to the doctor. When they have the doctor, they pick a certain doctor. Why? Because certain kinds of technical occupations, that's what you do.
Right.
You're not good at talking to people. Here comes the surgeon, brain surgeon.
Right.
I took the bullet out of his brain. I'm going home. But doctor, I'm very good at taking bullets out brains. I'm not good at chit chat.
Right.
I'm going home.
Right.
Bye.
Right.
See, so that's why. So same thing with this.
Yeah, and you know what, Mario? And I follow you on that, man. I would take that bet that you had 50 to 1, but I don't have $1.
I bet you they didn't prep him, and that's the bad. Let me tell you something. That's the bad thing about these things because these cats regularly get thrown under the bus.
Right.
If you read any of their personal stuff, that's why they really hate politics.
No, I agree. You know, it's a double whammy. On one, their whole argument of what they do. If there's an enemy outside of the wars that they're involved, it is the policies in Washington because they feel there is a different culture, period. So they feel that they can roll the way they want to. Now, I still agree with you, but I think they are.
Well, they don't feel they don't get to ever roll the way they want to, Vic. They may want to. They usually want to complete the job. What they don't like is when you tell them kill these people, then they send you back next year and say hand them Hershey bars.
I agree. But
I go like, that's not my job. My job is not the Hershey bar people. But since we sent you over there,
right,
we want you to be there handing out the Hershey bar.
Right, and the part I'm saying is that they're not disobeying anything. I just think there's a culture of it's like corporate and outside of corporate. It's like corporate and corporate sales, and everybody says, well, headquarters or whatever they follow, but they still have this culture about what are they going to do now?
They may complain.
Yeah, they'll complain.
But my point is that, they are in an organization where following protocol and order is taken to the degree of which people don't understand.
Right.
You, as a soldier, you could be locked up.
Right.
Remember, they could execute you for falling asleep.
I know that.
So people have to understand this is a level of order of occupation where there's no room for flexibility on that level of these
absolute
kind of
discipline,
absolute,
and following the process that's worked for a long time.
Absolutely,
yeah, I agree with you.
Absolutely, that's what it just does not happen.
Yeah,
and when people realize, oh no one ever does that. We say no one.
Well, I had to pose those situations because Leon down the street told me to ask you and say, ask him this. Why do they do this?
But on the other hand, they act up. Okay, remember? Okay, Vic.
Yeah.
The classic one is when MacArthur refused to obey orders.
If you know history, you know what happened.
This is in Korea, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see what happened.
So he actually got yanked.
Right. Because he tried to take a step over.
And this is a whole issue if he costs that is his commander-in-chief.
Right. I agree. You see what happened?
But remember now, the other thing now, too, everything is hierarchy, though, right?
Right.
McChrystal's not on that level of hierarchy to really do this, too. That's the other thing, Vic.
I noticed that.
He's not that level of hierarchy.
Right.
He's a commander but he's one of many commanders over different regions.
Who has just become very popular as a general, more so than
you have Afghanistan.
Right.
You have Iraq.
Yeah.
Pakistan.
Yeah.
You have all these things going on. So
yeah, and you and I know at this point this story will fester over for how long? Maybe a week.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So you guys say, "Oh, gives a shit." Okay, I agree. Maybe no one gives a shit. Okay, that's why we call it morning coffee, music, and news. It's your way. Some stories you say, Mario, enough of that.
Wait,
all right, but I'm just trying to keep y'all abreast of your president's problems.
Don't be yelling at Leon.
I'm sorry. Your president's having a bad day, y'all. I'm trying to keep you abreast. Now, the president, first of all, the second problem is that he has had placed this 6-month moratorium on oil.
Right.
Now, I don't know. Remember, and what gets me, Vic, is the president is a process person. Okay, these are attorneys. Okay,
right.
Remember, most of these politicians are attorneys, which is where the problem starts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, always.
Okay, but so now here he does this moratorium. So they go to court and block the moratorium. So now the moratorium's blocked. But check this out. Here's my spin, you guys. First of all, did you hear that BP's stock was doing better than expected? Look at it this way. You tell them they don't have to pay a dividend. You tell them you better not pay a dividend.
Right.
So they go, we shouldn't pay our stock. You're saying we can't pay them? Okay, we'll give it on that one. Stockholders, you don't get your dividends. Oh, so they're richer still.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Then you put a moratorium. They get to charge you. They're going to charge to say the federal government should pay all the costs, all those workers who didn't work during the moratorium. They're going to say that's your expense.
That's called, man.
You called it. It's your moratorium.
No, you're right.
You pay them.
You're right.
That's the next thing. So watch. I'm just telling you how you're about to get. Because remember, I guarantee you that BP's going to come out a winner. Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah.
Go look at Exxon.
Right.
They always come out a winner. They will come out a winner on this one. That's why you think old boy went to his yacht racing.
Right. You know.
He ain't worried.
Well, hey,
y'all, and you know who's worried? Louisiana, Mississippi.
They call it the us.
Oh yeah, they worried.
Right. And if you look at Exxon, they had a feature on it about 3 or 4 days ago, and when you look at it, and I always